Hello, I'm Richard Vobes, the Bald Explorer, and this is another cogitation. I'm walking the streets of Worthing, and first of all, you may have noticed, I am wearing a hat and a scarf and a different coat. The coat is an old coat. Hang on a minute, I just need to tighten up the tripod holding the handle thing holding the camera. Yes, it's an old coat, but it's not seen much wear. I very rarely wear it actually, but the hat and the scarf are a gift. Thanks very much to Lisa for sending it over, and it's very kind of you, late Christmas gift from America. So I thought I'd wear it just to show you what it looks like. And actually it's very comfortable, very warm. Actually it's not as cold as I was expecting today, so probably don't really need it today, but I will do on some of those very cold days that we have. But there you are, more wool, and I like wool, it's fantastic. Anyway, the cogitation today is about preservation and conservation. So here's my thoughts, and it's really a sort of to get a debate going. Oh, there's a free bed here. Anybody want a free bed? There we are, look, just down here. Help yourself. If nobody claims it, I could take it and put it on the Essie. Shush, don't tell anybody. Anyway, preservation and conservation. So I've made some notes to help me on this one. So what do you think? Things that are old, ancient things, old medieval things, things that are falling into disrepair. I suppose this comes from a walk that I did fairly recently where I saw this wayside cross, and I thought to myself, only the base and a bit of the stump, which would have had a cross with a pillar with a cross on the top. And I thought, oh, that's a shame that we can't see the whole thing. All we get is the stump. There's no interpretation of what it might have looked like. And I wonder if it would have been better if they had preserved that bit but built the rest of the cross on it, so it didn't just crumble away, because in time it will, you know, if somebody doesn't protect it, it'll just disappear, it'll crumble away, it'll be covered in stinging nettles and it won't be there. And I thought, that's a shame. So here's the question that I'm posing is, should we allow things, old things, to crumble away, disintegrate with time? Should we try, so that's the sort of conserve, I suppose. Should we preserve them, make sure they don't crumble away by repairing them, and so that what we see now, like in an old wall like here, you know, when it starts to sort of disintegrate, should we just carry on repairing it? And obviously if it's part of somebody's boundary or somebody's house, then no doubt they would anyway. But if it's a standalone monument like a wayside cross or a well or even an earthwork like a tumuli or tumuli, however you pronounce it, should we just allow that to just slowly fall, even though we've marked it and we've taken loads of photographs? Should we allow that just to sort of disintegrate? That's the question. Or do we go the extra mile and rebuild it completely? Don't take the base away, don't get rid of what's already there, but put it back to how it was. Now, I dare say that there are examples of all three of those with many different things, and I guess it depends if there are preservation orders on things. So churches, you know, I made a video about churches, allowing churches to, should we allow churches to sort of disintegrate? And they've been part of our heritage for so long, but we don't use them so much. And particularly last year, when they were all closed off, which because of the COVID thing, which was despicable really, I think, people needed to go to church, but it sort of made churches even more redundant. So, you know, should we keep them? Anyway, I'll link to the video on that one if I remember, and if not, do remind me and I'll try and remember to do it afterwards. Excuse me, sniffling. So what about Stonehenge? Stonehenge, we all know, is a series of stones in a circle, and it had some meaning. Sorry, just switching the camera around because the arm is beginning to ache. At some point in history, had some meaning, and we can debate what that was. Some ritual, I'm going to go back down one of these Twittons because I like the Twittons. And also you tend not to meet very many people down them when I'm trying to pontificate or cogitate. Anyway, so there it is. What do we do with places like Stonehenge? If one of the big stones falls over, do we leave that? Do we say, well, that's natural, that's just a natural thing, it fell? Or do we prop it back up? Or do we completely rebuild it, leave what's there, but put back other stones, or at least replica stones, in their place, so that when you go to Stonehenge, you actually see what it was like, not look at interpretation boards. As I say, this is just open for debate. This is just sort of me thinking around the process. Or should we allow old things, like at Avebury, for example, where there's these standing stones, and over time, in medieval period, not medieval, in the Tudor periods, I think, or later, should we allow houses to incorporate them? Because there are places in which trees have become incorporated in the house, or part of an old medieval wall has now a bit more of a modern house built up against it. Oh, here we go. Morning. Should we allow that to happen? You see, occasionally I see these Georgian houses, and I love Georgian houses. I think the symmetry and the stylisation of a Georgian house is absolutely splendid. I love it. But you often see where they've got rid of, at some point, the six. Usually with Georgians, there's an aesthetic rule that they would have 6 or 12, I think it is, individual small windows, little lights. So here we are. Look, here's an example of what I mean. But right behind me, that's Victorian. But you can see there it's got 4 and 4, 8, and then 16, and then another 2 sets of 4 above it. And that's, it just looks right. It looks absolutely right. But you see some of these sash windows that on Georgian properties, and even on Victorian properties, to be honest with you, where they've replaced those 4 windows. And there's another example here with 2 windows, UPVC, double glazed. Have a look at those behind me. I walked around here the other day when I was doing my thing about being bald. And I know it lets in more light and people, all of that. But from an aesthetic point of view and from a historic point of view, it's not how they would have been built. So I'm not saying you should do any of this. I'm not saying it's right or it's wrong. I'm just opening it up for debate. So what about places like Rochester? Rochester. No, hang on. What's the name of the place in? I always get Rochester and the one in Shropshire, the Roman Villa. It sounds like Rochester, but it isn't Rochester, because Rochester is its own place in Kent. Wroxeter. I'd get there in the end. Wroxeter. What about Wroxeter, the Roman village, the 4th largest city in Roman England, in Shropshire, just down from Shrewsbury and up from Telford. And Rochester, there's not much left now. There's some underfloor heating systems that you can look at. There's a big window, I think it's a bath, I'm not sure. I've been there, but I can't really remember it. And where was I going with this? Should that be rebuilt, or part of the city be rebuilt, so that you can actually experience it, so you can go in and see it? There are places like what's that place with the roundhouses? Butser village, where they've reproduced what is Anglo-Saxon roundhouses, Iron Age houses. I think also. I do need to go there actually. It's a fascinating place. Just going into the park now. Sorry about all the sniffing. It's the cold, you know, it's the cold. Yeah, so they've done that. But what I would like to see, and I don't know whether anybody ever does this, and you do fill me in if this is a thing, but something like a Wroxeter, where there's a Roman villa, but actually rebuild part of it, or not all of it, but just part of it, on perhaps adjacent to where the ruins are, as a holiday home, or homes, like a caravan park, but not a caravan park, but Roman villas. Now, wouldn't it be lovely to go, I think, to go as a holiday, to live like a Roman would have done? Obviously you wouldn't have slaves and that sort of thing, because I don't think that would be appropriate, but you would dress in Roman attire for a week. You would live like a Roman, so you wouldn't have television, fridges, Wi-Fi connection, but you actually live the experience. Now, maybe that's a thing. Maybe there already is. Do you know, I'm just coming down this bit here, past the skate area. There's not a soul. You'd think at least one kid, 2 kids would come down here. There's nobody. I know it's wet and miserable and there's no light and it's horrible and it's a bit cold, but kids are resilient. Anyway, so that was a thought. What else? Build that holiday homes themed. That's kind of all the things on my list. I just wanted to sort of get that debate about how are we looking at conservation of ancient monuments and ancient places, the preservation of ancient places, and the construction of stuff that we live with today. Now, I'm not saying that we all have to live, everything has to be kept in aspic, that it, once it's been something, it can never be anything else, and that modern development shouldn't happen. Of course, I'm not saying that. The real thing is, sometimes when you look at things like this wayside cross, it's pretty meaningless, and people don't get terribly excited about it when all it is just a base and the bit of a post, but not the whole thing. Would that fit in a modern society? I don't know. But anyway, that's the debate that I'm having today, and I'd love to hear your comments. Do bung them in the comment box below, and I'll try my best to reply, at least read them, and I'll be out and about on another walk on another occasion. Thanks so much for watching. Don't forget to follow, like and subscribe, and another big thanks to Lisa for this wonderful hat and scarf that has kept me warm all this time. It's been absolutely lovely. So here we go. Look, there's one of my viewers. You wouldn't believe it, would you? You wouldn't, Adam and Eve. Hello, Paul.
How you doing?
Yeah, I'm all right. How are you?
Yeah, good, thanks.
I've just taken an advantage to go out in the rain.
Absolutely, yeah.
And there you are.
And we just come along to meet you.
You see, you can't go anywhere without bumping into somebody with a camera. How are you?
Good, thanks.
Yeah.
Yeah, very well. On
Excellent.
This wet day, isn't
on
it?
this wet day.
Yeah.
I was just remarking, there's not a soul on the skateboard.
Not today. Or the park, probably.
Or the park.
No.
That's why I came out.
Exactly. You probably find it quiet because it's wet.
Yeah, definitely.
Except for us.
Except for you guys. Well, I won't interrupt you because I'm just finishing my video, but it's on hopefully for tomorrow.
Oh, we'll watch it. Look out for that then.
Yeah.
Yeah, we will do.
Right at the end.
Yeah.
Good to see you out there getting your exercise.
Yeah, and it's a challenge. The school have set to do a 2-hour.
Have they?
A 2-hour, go as far as you can in 2 hours.
Oh wow! And how far have you come so far?
Started.
Oh, just started.
So we'll see how we get on.
Yeah. Well, I mustn't delay you then.
Oh, that's all right. No,
Good luck. Take care. Good to see you both.
And you, yeah.
There we are. How about that, ladies and gentlemen? All the best.
All the best.
Have a good one. Bye bye.
Bye.
Oh, fantastic. There you go. So there we are. Don't forget to get and do your exercise all the way through this lockdown. Anyway, thanks for watching. That was really cool. Until next time, look after yourselves and bye for now. Bye bye.